It looks like we're set to see the Algerian Revolution. I'm not talking about 1962 and all that. I'm not talking about the group chat or anything like that. I'm talking about a huge new influx of players as the FAF finally realised that this squad, this dead squad, needs freshening up with young players, fresh ideas and new talents we've got to get before European nations snap them up. Algeria looking to build a team for the Arab Cup, for the AFCON and for the FIFA World Cup, which is in less than 12 months' time. Who can we expect? What names do we think are going to be in? Obviously, we lost out on the likes of Rafik Chergui, on Magnus Akliouche. And Akliouche, by the way, as we all knew, didn't take a genius to realise that Didier Deschamps drafted him in over Ekitike to stop Algeria getting him. Algeria were sniffing around Akliouche. Akliouche in the squad for France, played one game off the bench. And Didier Deschamps has said he's not going to call him up again. What a mess. Akliouche stuck with the French and can't play for Algeria at this moment in time. I mean, he just knew that was going to happen, didn't he, really? But who can we get? We know Luka Zidane is signed, sealed and delivered. New goalkeeper. We know Samir Chergui from Paris FC, the central defender who's been at Paris FC pretty much his whole career. And we desperately need centre-backs. We should have been trying to get Elias Benkara for sure. We've got an aging Isamandi. We've got Tuba, who's playing well with Panathinaikos in the Europa League. And these guys have got to go. We've got Nair, still barely played. Ben Sebaini's a class act, and for many people should even be the captain. No issues with Ben Sebaini. That midfield needs legs. It needs some new players in there. Of course, the injury to Kandusi wasn't great. We're still calling up Zerouki. We cannot put Zerouki in the next squad. I know he scored the other week for 20. We've got to be moving on from Ramiz. I mean, he's done a job. He's got more caps than Rafik Zerouki, which is incredible. He's got to go. And then in the attack, you're looking at people like Bulumi. I know he's injured, but he'll be back. Boetnani, you see the chip in the Europa League. Boetnani, I said to you a year ago, is the Mahrez replacement. I actually rate Boetnani higher than Hadj Moussa, but Hadj Moussa is still another player that deserves game time. Ilan Kabal, the player of the month in Ligue 1, for goodness sake. Faraz Shaibi, Ibrahim Maza, Amin Chiake, the young forward who's gone on loan from Copenhagen in the Danish league. There are talents there. So who can we expect to see in the next Algeria squad? Well, we know about Luka Zidane. Now, some players that played at French youth level have to do what's called a FIFA switch of allegiance, where they have to change the paperwork from whatever country to Algeria. Some players that have never played for any country before, the situation's a bit quicker because they're not actually switching from anything. They've just got to get the Algerian paperwork, get the S2s, whatever it is, and they're ready to play. So, got Luka Zidane, got Chergui, Rafik Belghali, Hellas Verona fullback, got to be a player we're going to be looking at. Linked to the likes of Napoli, had a very good game against Juventus the other day. So Belghali, I think, is a much better player than Mohamed Farsi. With respect to Farsi, I think Belghali is better. I think Belghali's better than Van den Kerkhoff. I think he's surely better than Yusuf Hartal if he's fit and playing in Serie A every week. So Belghali, Rafik Belghali, is a player to look out for in the next squad. Hadjem, I know we've had him a few times, but he's a player I really like. You've also got Mehdi Dorval. Are we going to see Dorval finally get his call up? Listen, there's so many players we could be trying to get in. There's a young goalkeeper at Rennes. There's a young goalkeeper at Nice. They might be involved in the Arab Cup as well. And by the way, Algeria are allowed, they've been told, to pick players from Europe for the Arab Cup should the clubs release them. But I think Algeria are approaching the Arab Cup a bit differently this year, where they don't want to call up anyone for the Arab Cup. That will go to the AFCON, because last time, despite the Arab Cup success, we had a lot of players go to the Arab Cup in Qatar in 2021 and then go away to the AFCON with Belmadi. And there was just too much international football in a short space of time. So apparently, Ryan Colley is going to be playing the Arab Cup, and Islam Slimani, who got an assist the other day, is playing in Romania with CFR Cluj. They're looking at getting Slimani for the Arab Cup. This guy just never knows when to retire, so keep an eye on that one. So if they're looking at Colley for Arab Cup, I don't think he's going to be in the main national team squad. You've also got Khalis Marah, the youngster at Lyon, who is following FAF and all the players on all social media. He looks like a player. We could get another one from the Lyon Academy. They've had Benzema, Benzia, and obviously all these guys come through. Cherki, Awar, Belfadil. So maybe Marah is another one. The young forward, 18, 19 years of age. Another one, of course, played for French youth level. But again, a player that Algeria should be looking to try and get. Of course, there's other players. There's Ilias Zidane, which is a younger brother of Luka Zidane. He's a young defender at Real Betis B. That's a player Algeria have been looking at as well. So there are players left, right and centre. We know about Elias Benkara, really talented young centre-back, was part of the Dortmund squad that went to the Club World Cup in the US. If I was him, I would have gone out on loan, maybe to Bundesliga too, just to play every week. I know he's in the second team at Dortmund, but you want him playing a good level every week, and I think that'd really help him. There are some, if he went to, for example, to Hertha Berlin in the second Bundesliga, I think almost certainly he'd get called up. Look at Mazza. Mazza was at Hertha Berlin in the Bundesliga second division when he was first called up. But I think if Benkara just stays all season on the bench at Dortmund, it's difficult to make a name for yourself. But that's a player we've got to get. No Oktoberfest for this guy. He wants to be part of the Algeria setup for sure. So he's one for the future. So I really hope in this next list we're going to see some names that we want to see for a long time. We want to see names like Chergui and Belghali not here anymore. We want to see names come out of nowhere. Has someone suddenly got an Algerian passport? You look at Ben Hattab at Nantes. He's a good talent there as well. On that wing, obviously Cabal was in the squad last time. Balumi came back from injury, but unfortunately he's out for 6 to 8 weeks again. So really, I hope we've got to be starting this Algeria revolution and getting some new players on board, because this current crop, I cannot see another AFCON with, Atal and Mandy and Chergui and Benasser at Zagreb is a player we need to stay fit because he's a huge asset. We cannot go to these cups with Belghali, Bounedjah and Mahrez as the front three. The combined age is 101. We can't be doing this anymore. It's making me feel I'm thinking about it. So, like I say, we've got to get some new players in. Comment down below what new players you want to see involved. I'm sure there's plenty of players, many people may not have heard of, that we want to be seeing getting a chance. You've also got Simo, aka Wassim Kadari, the young Spanish-Algerian centre-back that's now playing in the Middle East. He was at Espanyol. He went out to the Middle East. Qatar trying to naturalise him. Waiting to see. Bulbina playing for Belmadi. He's got a few goals this season. Is Bulbina going to be in? I think Bulbina is an almost certain guarantee for an Arab Cup spot. We'll see how he manages the minutes then. But Algeria have got to plan this properly. They've got the Somalia and Uganda games, both at home in October. They've got 2 friendlies in November. And then it's AFCON, an Arab Cup. So they've got to work out from now who's going to be playing for who's going to be playing where. For example, you can't take Baghdad Bounedjah to an Arab Cup and then an AFCON. It's just not, I don't think it's a good idea. So, your Yassine Brahimi's, your Slimani's, your Collies, you've got to be playing them in the Arab Cup for me. So yeah, so who would you like to see as part of the Algeria revolution? Let me know in the comments down below. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.